gotta be an idiot to bet on that parlay.
It's DTF or bust.
Put it on my mama's porch tomorrow. Welcome back to Hold My Bet podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Park. Here with me, as always, D1, the only DTF Clee. Dylan, how's your weekend been?
A lot better than last week, that's for sure.
A lot better than last week? Why would it be better than last week?
Well, for starters, the Browns won. We had a lot better football this week. Some teams are finally settling into their places. It's pretty much it. Had a great time watching the Browns at a Browns party I went to. Went to a concert last night. Just all around good weekend.
Good. I had a great weekend betting college football. Not so much NFL football this week. Hoping that changes tonight. It's halftime right now as we're recording this for the Eagles-Falcons game on Monday Night Football. But yeah, overall, solid weekend. Can't complain when the Browns win. Whether that win was a scary win or what it was, a win's a win at the end of the day.
It was ugly. It was definitely not settling. I didn't feel safe at any point of the game. It doesn't matter how much of a lead we have. I'm always going to think the worst that could possibly happen.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to fix my lighting a little bit.
All
I
good.
changed my desk setup, so I'm a little more to my right than I usually am. But yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into this week's slate. What happened? As our good friend James Draws likes to say, what happened?
Yes.
Yes, our king. Starting off with Thursday Night Football, we had the Bills absolutely smacking the Miami Dolphins 31-10. This game was just ugly pretty much right from the rip. Miami let the game get away and couldn't get anything going on offense. Tua had 2 interceptions, I think, in the first quarter.
Yeah,
Very ugly
rough.
performance, and then things just got worse throughout the game. Tua exits the game with his 4th concussion since college because he got his first one his senior year at Alabama and then has gotten 3 more since joining the NFL. And what they say about concussions, they get worse and worse every time. We saw him doing the little hand spasms, and
Yeah.
man, it's just scary out there.
Well, it was a scary game to watch after he left
Yeah,
because Skylar Thompson is not a starting quarterback.
no, and they picked up Snoop Huntley today.
Yep. I think it's a good move. I think for that offense, he's going to thrive. He might even become a Pro Bowler again.
Yeah, depending on how long Tua's out, I think he's gonna fill in just fine. Granted, he's gonna have to build up some chemistry, but he's been around the league long enough. He knows what it takes to be a veteran quarterback.
I'm
I
sure
think he's gonna
Tyreek
be
will
just
work well
fine.
with
Oh yeah, yeah, I think he's gonna be better than Skylar Thompson, I feel like. So sucked to be a Miami fan on Thursday night, but thankfully Tua's okay. Granted, a lot of people in the media still to today are talking about how he should retire, but he came out Sunday and finally said that he is not retiring. He still plans on playing football, which is good to hear that that's what he wants to do.
it.
Um,
Yeah.
I really don't know what I would do if I was in that situation. Granted, I don't really want to think about it too hard, because that's just scary. I mean, you work your whole life to be an NFL football player, and you know, a few hits can just take that away from you.
Yeah, but I
It's
was reading if he was medically told that he could not continue to play, I'm pretty sure all of his money would have been guaranteed, right?
yeah,
So you still walk away with a bag. I don't think you're going to be that upset you can't play anymore.
yeah, but I mean, to I agree, but to a level like you got to think of the competitor in him too. I mean,
Right.
there's a reason he took on Alabama and a bigger school like that. I feel like to go to a bigger school like that and come in as a freshman, you got to be a competitor.
Yeah.
Um, so I get that from that standpoint, but like you said, at the end of the day, his money was all guaranteed. I'm curious whether that would still go against Miami's salary cap or not.
I would imagine because there would be a dead cap, right?
Yeah. Or if they could like offer to pay him it, granted, that'd be a lot of money to pay up front, but if they could offer to pay him it like all up front so they could take it off their books.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not happening as of right now, at least. Glad that he's okay and hopefully he can get back on the field out there shortly. Didn't really see a lot from this game other than because in all honesty, I didn't think the Bills played that amazing. They didn't have
No, I
to
mean,
throw the ball hardly. They just
yeah,
Miami
I
wasn't
have
tackling them.
I have Josh Allen on one of my teams, and I think he put up maybe 9 points. I
Yeah,
mean,
I have
all
him
their
in
points.
two of my leagues.
It doesn't help that Tua threw a pick six. Bills defense, owners on fantasy did really well.
Yeah. Yeah, James Cook owners thrived this week.
Yep.
Thank goodness I wasn't playing against this guy, but in one of my leagues, someone had Kamara and Cook.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of tweets like that.
And Justin Jefferson as well.
But she's injured now too. There's so many injuries.
Oh yeah, no. It's only week two and we're already into all these injuries. Um,
I think this goes back to nobody playing in the preseason.
yeah, I almost feel like playing in the preseason like makes you healthier to an extent.
Yeah, you keep the blood flowing, keep moving, prepare for some hits.
Yeah, because you go to training camp without really taking real hits.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I get that. But anyways, let's go ahead and move into the Sunday slate. Um, we'll go ahead and talk about our brownies first because I'm just antsy to talk about them. Um, Browns win 18-13 over the Jacksonville Jaguars at quote unquote Trevor Banks Stadium, which that pissed me off before the game even started. Um,
Wow. Trevor
did
has
not,
not won a game since Thanksgiving.
yeah, I was just about to say that. I'm like, I didn't realize they hadn't won a game in that long.
Yeah, it's embarrassing if you're a
Yeah.
Jaguar fan.
Yeah, and you just paid him all that money. And
Hmm.
I'm not trying to defend Deshaun, just want to say that Trevor Lawrence is getting paid more than Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
So just want to say that with one playoff win, which I think they both have one playoff win.
Yes.
Yeah. But overall, offense looked a lot better for our Browns this week. Second half, not the same team at all.
No, a
Um,
lot slower. A lot slower.
a lot slower. This is the one thing I don't get about Stefanski. I don't get why we let the foot off the gas. I've never understood that.
Because we're a great first drive team, and then after the first drive, we panicked.
Well, I feel like we don't even panic. I feel like we just, just get content and then we get into panic mode when we're like, oh, they scored, they're catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that as a Browns fan personally, but
I still really didn't feel like we established the run again. Jerome Ford had some good moments in the game, but Deshaun looked a little more comfortable in the pocket this week compared to last week. I mean, he looked like a king. Still a lot of drops. I just read that Cleveland leads the league in drop passes, and Elijah Moore and Amari Cooper
our
topping the
top two.
list. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty concerning. I really liked what I saw from Jerry Judy though.
Oh,
I thought he's
Judy
played
was
amazing
good.
so far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know I wasn't a huge fan of him before coming to Cleveland, and even when we first traded for him. Granted, we got him for the value that I was hoping we got him for.
Yeah,
Um, but he's played awesome so far in
yeah.
a Browns
I mean,
uniform.
he's found space in the defense. He gets open, he catches it. Not a crap ton of flashy like yards after catch, but he's getting the ball down the field, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I'm curious when they're gonna get Kadarius Toney involved in this. Not that I am really dying to see it,
Well,
but I'm
uh,
I'm at least interested. I mean, like, why not try it?
Dave, David Bell had season-ending surgery announced, so you'd think it's time.
Yeah, he'll get some action somehow.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, I view it this way. It's low risk, high reward. He doesn't pan
Yeah,
out, kick him.
sure.
But, see what you got at least. I mean, he was a first round talent, uh, and has shown glimpses, but last year just showed stupid little mental errors.
Yeah,
Um, so hopefully that won't be the case here in Cleveland, but it is Cleveland. So
one can hope.
yeah, only one can hope, that's for sure. Um, Other than that, Brian Thomas Jr. is a dog.
Yeah, I can't believe just off the scene, he's pretty dang good.
Yeah, not a lot of, I mean, I get he was getting some hype towards the end of training camp, but
Hmm.
he's a sleeper for offensive rookie of the year.
Well, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't really think any of the quarterbacks are getting anything going yet.
No, there hasn't been one rookie quarterback that's thrown a touchdown yet
No,
through 2 weeks.
yeah.
Unless Michael Penix throws one tonight if he gets in for Kirk.
Hey, I don't know. Kirk just took a huge sack. They keep getting it to the freaking 5, 10 yard line, and they're get stuck getting field goals. They can't punch it in. I just need a
Yeah.
Bijan touchdown.
See, I need
Bijan is.
a Saquon touchdown.
Mm.
I got my Bijan rushing yards already.
I had a Devontae touchdown that I was waiting on, and I need Bijan to go off. This is what's keeping me from winning my matchup this week. Is those two guys on my team?
Oh, really?
I needed like 40 points going into tonight
Oh,
combined. So I need like a double decker of 2020, which is doable.
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely doable. Um, but let's go ahead and talk about another AFC North team, who is now 0-2. The Raiders defeat the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, 26-23 on a last second field goal by Daniel Carlson. Um,
Well,
this
what wasn't last second, but
basically last
oh
second.
yeah. But what did you think of Lamar's last play call or play choice when he ran it down the field and then lateraled it?
Well, when I saw the forward pass, I knew it was done.
Hmm.
But interesting, but they didn't really give each other like space.
No, that didn't seem like it was in the play call.
No, I
There,
don't even think anyone was like ready for it out there. It just
no,
kind of was like, oh, you got the football? Okay, just toss it somewhere. Someone will go grab it. I started dying laughing when I saw the Raiders player, because the Ravens player accidentally threw it like his way. He just batted it straight down on the ground.
yeah,
I started dying laughing when I saw that. But yeah, the Raiders ended up winning this game. Not much going on the ground other than Alexander Madison touchdown, which is
which I needed that in a sleeper league, dynasty league.
yeah. Um, we had a great game from both Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers. Both of them, well, Devontae over 100 yards, which I needed for fantasy, and then Brock Bowers just 2 yards shy. of 100 yards. Brock
Hmm.
Bowers is kind of looking like the real deal out here.
Oh yeah, definitely makes you wonder why you should have drafted him over Travis Kelsey because Travis Kelsey's done shit.
Yeah, Travis Kelsey has not done much, that's for sure. He had one play in that the matchup this week that got called back that was for some good yardage, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know what's been going on with him. Um, but in this game, the Ravens weren't really giving Derrick Henry the ball until the second half. Like he was held to like no yardage until the second half. He finally punched it in for the touchdown that I believe tied up the game, if I'm not
was like
mistaken.
wasn't a goal line touchdown too.
Yeah, it was a 1 yard run right up the
Hmm.
middle. Um, but one thing I've noticed this year is that Lamar is not running the ball nearly as much as he used to. He had one 25-yard run, but other than that, he hasn't really been running the ball a whole lot.
And it's
Um,
early. I mean, it's very early.
yeah, it still is early. I just thought it was interesting that I don't know if it's just like the scheme that defenses are playing that, you know, he doesn't see any real like running lanes, but I always felt like that was something that like was Lamar Jackson was he made his own running lanes.
Hmm.
But awesome win by the Raiders. There was a cool moment in the game where Max Crosby um, was talking to Gardner Minshew after Gardner threw his interception. I
Yeah,
was hyping him up, saying, "We got you, man." And then that's when Gardner Minshew just started balling out, essentially, right then and there.
he needed that, and Max Crosby just goes to show he's a great teammate to have in the locker room.
Oh, he is. He is. But I was very happy to see the Raiders win this game. I mentioned it on the last episode that I had just a gut feeling that the Raiders were going to win this game, and I wish I would
Yeah,
have followed suit with a bet on that.
there's a lot of upsets this weekend, including the Browns being the underdogs because of how we played last week.
Yeah. So yeah, that was an awesome game. I know this next matchup, uh, I know you were leaning on the other side on this one, but the New York Jets beat the Tennessee Titans 24-17. This game was really close. It's pretty much back and forth the entire time. Uh,
Hmm.
Aaron Rodgers didn't really look like he was doing anything special in this game. Um, but the rookie Braylon Allen got both a receiving and rushing touchdown and is the youngest player in Jets franchise history to ever score a touchdown.
Yeah, he looked like a dog.
Yeah, I wasn't even super familiar with him, but then once I looked him up, I'm like, oh, I remember him. He was the running back at Wisconsin.
Yeah, he is like massive.
Yeah. Yeah, so watch out Brees Hall owners in fantasy. Braylon Allen's going to be stealing some of those touches.
Hmm.
Which I mean, Brees Hall still got his touches for sure. I mean, he got 7 receptions. I think he led the team in receptions and got a touchdown still. But yeah, Braylon Allen's going to be getting some more touches for sure. Um,
Should fantasy owners of Garrett Wilson start panicking?
yes, I don't think Garrett Wilson's going to have that big year that everyone was expecting. Um, I still think he's going to have some good games for sure. Um, but it's all going to be matchup based.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers, let's just be honest, he's not the same Aaron Rodgers as before. And
yeah,
people need to stop expecting that. I still think he's gonna be good. And I think he can win some games. Uh, but he's not gonna be that, oh, Jets are going to the Super Bowl because Aaron Rodgers is here.
yeah.
He's not gonna be that guy for them. Especially if you're in a close game with the Titans like this, which the Titans defense is legit. Um, but even the Titans offense came a little bit alive. At times, mainly carried by Calvin Ridley, who had 2 touchdowns today. Um, doesn't look like they got a whole lot going on the running game. I really don't understand why they're not utilizing Tajay Spears more, though.
Yeah, it seems a little back and forth on if they're going to use Pollard more or Spears more. So far, it seems like Pollard's got most of the carries.
Yeah, Pollard had 17 carries compared to Spears 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pollard had 5 receptions compared to Spears 2 in this game. Um, it kind of sucks that I always forget now that DeAndre Hopkins plays on the Titans still.
Yeah, he's not been
Yeah.
very useful this season yet.
No. He had 1 catch for 9 yards. But Calvin Ridley had one crazy touchdown catch towards the end, which I think is
Mm-hmm.
the touchdown that got them to 17. Um, he was double covered by the Jets corners and basically just caught on his back hip, mm, slid into the end zone. Sorry, had a hiccup. Um, but did you get to watch much of this game at all,
No, we
or
had
just like bits and pieces?
yeah, because we had the Browns game on at the party I was at.
Yeah, yeah. This game was kind of boring, if you ask me. Scoring drives were cool. Um, but Titans defense, that's what's going to win them games, not their offense necessarily. They have all the tools. They just need to work on that O line, which they of course have our coach for,
Yeah, yeah, Bill Callahan.
which I miss dearly.
Yeah, I
Really
feel like
hoping.
Wyatt Teller mostly, but a lot of our line looks way different than it has in years past. Like Wyatt
Yeah.
Teller looks like he's degressed.
Yeah, and I get that he's getting up there in age, but he shouldn't degress that much.
No,
Yeah. A lot of stupid calls in our game, stupid penalties. But let's go ahead and move into this next game. We had the Minnesota Vikings upsetting the San Francisco 49ers 23-17. Uh, Sam Darnold's revenge game after getting cut by the 49ers. Um,
he led now
Brock,
too.
yeah, Deebo Samuel had 110 receiving yards, but then did get carted off. Um, and that's where we kind of saw Brock Purdy peter off, which towards the end of the game, it seemed like they were going to start making a comeback, but
Mm-hmm.
Vikings sneak away with the win. Justin Jefferson also got hurt in this game after having 2 monster receptions, one for 97 yards. Um, but the Titans starting off the season 2-0. Can't say I was really expecting that. Um,
The who?
the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
Um, but while we're talking about the 49ers, one thing I did want to talk about was Christian McCaffrey. I am so
Everybody's
mad. I'm so
yeah.
mad. I drafted
Everybody
him
took
in my
him.
big money league that I play in every year with all my friends back at home. Drafted him first overall. Super excited. I won this week, thank God, but
That's
I don't
why I
know how many
hate
weeks I'm gonna
having.
win.
I don't like having a top three pick because I feel like in years past the top three picks are always burnouts. Like it used to be Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey in this instance. I had Tyreek Hill. Great first week, 30 points. But you mean to tell me that he's going to produce the same amount of offense with Skylar Thompson? Like I know we've got Huntley now, but until Tua gets back and full healthy, I feel like I wasted my pick. I should have got CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, CD Lamb was a great pick. I've always had a little vendetta against him, but I have him in one of my leagues. Um, but yeah, I'm not too happy about the whole Christian McCaffrey thing. Especially since they were trying to, basically hide it, and now they're getting caught and probably going to get eventually fined for it.
Yeah, I don't know how you can sit there and say they're not going to release this information until Sunday or Monday and let us know what's going on. And then Mason's like, "Oh, I've known since Friday." I know he clarified what he meant by that. Be ready to go in. But something tells me that they already knew
Oh,
that
he
this is a
already knew.
bigger
He already
problem than
knew.
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully the league looks into that because that's not cool at all.
No.
But um this next game, not a whole lot to talk about other than the Chargers are now 2-0 after taking down the Carolina Panthers 26-3. Justin Herbert had one hell of a throw, even though it was incomplete. It was one of those type of throws that if Patrick Mahomes did it, you would see it every day for the next month.
Oh yeah.
Um, and Justin Herbert's stats, once again, weren't even really that crazy.
What do
130
you have, like
yards.
130? Yeah, 130 yards.
Yeah. Quentin Johnson, 2 touchdown catches. J.K. Dobbins with back-to-back weeks of 100 plus rushing yards and a touchdown. Uh, Looking like Ohio State J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, finally.
As much as I don't like Harbaugh for being the Michigan coach, like it's kind of hard not to like him.
Yeah.
I like him now that he's not at Michigan, but yeah, I kind of fuck with Harbaugh.
Chargers are gonna be a sneaky team.
Low key. And then the Panthers, not much to talk about them other than the news that came out today about, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty shocked about it. They have decided to bench Bryce Young, #1 overall pick last year, already for Andy Dalton. 2 weeks
They have
into the season.
they have so much
But
egg on their face right now.
oh yeah, no, it's such a bad look, especially for the overhaul that they traded to go get Bryce Hall, and
Yeah. Like somebody's gotta get fired this week.
it
Like
ain't gonna
GM.
be. Yeah, I was gonna say it ain't gonna be the coach.
No.
So I don't know what's going on there. I feel bad for him to an extent. Granted, he is kind of playing like ass out there, but
Hmm.
when you've gone through 3 coaches within your first year being in the NFL, like I don't know. That's a rough situation.
Baker though, right?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And Baker at least threw for more than 84 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. I can't even watch a Panthers game right now.
Yeah, I don't think I could make it through a Panthers game. Um, so yeah, that blew. Ooh, what did the Eagles do? They get they kicked a field goal, I think.
Hmm.
Uh,
Oh shit. Darnell Mooney touchdown.
really?
Yeah, it was like a 50-yard touchdown.
Oh wow.
They're going for two. Wow. Yep, they're going for two to make it 17-10. Crazy.
Well, while we're waiting on that play, I'll go and talk about this game real quick because it was another uneventful one in my opinion. Seahawks beat the New England Patriots 23-20. Um, it probably wasn't the worst game in the world, but um, personally, I didn't really enjoy watching it. I flipped on back and forth because my buddy that I was watching the game with had Ramondre Stevenson in a parlay of his. So he was happy to see him get his touchdown and
Yeah.
his 60 yards, which he ended up with 81 rushing yards. Um, but the Patriots are going to be one of those pesty teams, Loki. They're not going to be very great, but they're just going to be pesty.
Yeah, I mean, I believe much like the Vikings preseason, their win total for betting was like 4.5 or 5.5. Both those teams are going to probably win more than 5 games.
Yeah, I could see the Patriots winning about 5 games, right? Like right on the dot. Um, Jackson Smith and Najigba finally had a breakout game. 12 catches for 117 yards.
Hmm.
Um, I think that he's going to start to take over that Tyler Lockett role at wide receiver 2. And then DK Metcalf, 10 receptions for 129 yards and a touchdown. Geno Smith's only passing touchdown of the day, which is crazy for throwing 327 yards. That's the only touchdown pass he got.
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't really see anything that stood out too much in this game other than it went to overtime and it was, neck and neck the entire time.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those games that it would have been cool if you were there, or if you had like any kind of investment in it. I personally didn't, but I would have loved to have gone to that game. Especially since it was the 10-year anniversary too, so they had Malcolm Butler there
Yes.
for picking off Russell Wilson in the end zone, which is crazy to think that that was 10 years ago.
Feels like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it makes me feel old. Did they get the 2-point conversion?
No.
No, I figured.
15-10.
All right, on to this next game. So our Cleveland Browns last week played the Dallas Cowboys, got our asses kicked. They go into New Orleans, Dallas Cowboys do, and get their asses kicked by the New Orleans Saints, who I can't name many people that thought that they were going to be good this year. Um, if anything, I saw all over Twitter on how terrible they were going to be this year.
Yep.
And they've shown nothing but the complete opposite. Derek Carr has looked pretty solid, pretty solid.
He's
He
currently in the
threw,
MVP race.
yeah, as he should be. I mean, his offense has been averaging over 40 points a game right now, which is crazy alone. He only had to throw the ball 16 times in this game, but still threw for 243 yards and 2 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara had, a classic Alvin Kamara game with 20 carries, 115 yards for 3 touchdowns. Um, and then also had 2 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown.
Every time I looked up at this TV and I saw the score bug go up and up and up, and all I see is Kamara, Kamara, Kamara. I'm like, holy crap. Glad I'm not playing that guy today.
Yeah. Well, we even got good games from Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, who I know that you
Mm-hmm.
were talking about was going to have a down week coming up.
And he didn't because I left him on my bench. If I would have started him, he would have had an off week. But because I left him on the bench, put up another 20 points.
Yeah, but how many did Dak only throw 1 pick? Oh no, he threw 2 picks. That's right. In this game, Cowboys rushing offense was non-existent compared to last week against Cleveland. CeeDee Lamb had a good game, and then Jalen Tolbert. But other than that, they didn't look like they had that great of a game. I'm trying to see who got the interception. Donovan Wilson. Um, Dallas's kicker though, if you can get him in fantasy, go for it. He's
Aubrey,
been,
yeah,
yeah,
automatic.
Brandon Aubrey is automatic. Honestly might be the best kicker in the league right now.
Some are asking you if Justin Tucker's washed.
Yeah. Yeah, Justin. Oh, that was one thing I meant to mention. Justin Tucker missed another field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but on to this next game, we had the Washington Commanders facing off against the New York Giants. In our preview, we said how boring this game was going to be, and it lived up to expectation. Um,
Absolutely.
However, Malik Neighbors made this game interesting, even though that, you know, both teams sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Malik Neighbors had 10 catches for 127 yards and a touchdown. Currently is second in the league in receptions. Where are some of the other ones that I have it on here somewhere. I just saw it. He's second in catches, fourth in receiving yards, leads the NFL in 20 plus yards. leg plays, and then second in targets. So he's off to an amazing start. Granted, he's pretty much the only real weapon that they have in that offense. Um, and then Jaden Daniels, took care of business, didn't do anything crazy. Didn't necessarily put any points up on the board, but um, still passed for 226 yards. Um, Brian Robinson was pretty much the offense in this game. They just need to figure out how to get Terry McLaurin involved because
Yeah.
I mean he got 6 catches but only 22 receiving yards. So they have to be scheming him wrong because Terry McLaurin's too good to be only getting
hmm
22 yards.
Yeah, I've been very underwhelmed by their performance thus far in these first two games. I think the Commanders could be doing a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like a lot of it's going to be, growing pains, but I felt like in this game they should have absolutely destroyed the Giants. But Daniel Jones, I mean, did Daniel Jones things other than he did not throw a pick this time. He had 2 passing touchdowns. Devin Singletary also had a solid game with
hmm
95 yards. Other than that, I did not pay attention to this game at all. Um, Buccaneers and Lions was a very interesting game. Aiden Hutchinson started off the game with 3 sacks in the first quarter. There's, I
Yeah.
think, 5 minutes still left in the first quarter, and he already had 3 sacks, which crazy. Should definitely be in the consideration for Defensive Player of the Year, if not front runner right now. Um, Baker Mayfield definitely cooled off compared to week one's performance, finishing with 185 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception. Um, he also had 1 rushing touchdown, which was crazy. Rashad White couldn't get anything going, but Chris Godwin kind of carried the receiving core this week with 7 catches for 117 yards and 1 touchdown. Uh, Seems like Detroit really just buckled down on Mike Evans this week. I mean, held
Yeah.
him to 3 catches for 42 yards. Uh, He's targeted 6 times, so it's not like he wasn't trying to get him the ball. But this game just seemed like it was a slugfest. I mean, we had a Jack Fox pass for a first down, 17-yard throw. Jared Goff did not play a good game. Uh,
No, he did
300
not look.
307 yards, but no touchdown passes and 2 interceptions.
He didn't look like himself out there.
Yeah, and they were playing at home too. Jahmyr Gibbs with 13 carries and 84 yards, but David Montgomery was the one that got the touchdown for the Lions.
Yep.
Amon-Ra finally came alive with 11 catches and 119 receiving yards. Um, but other than that, and the Aiden Hutchinson sacks, I mean, this game was really good to watch, in my opinion. I was honestly surprised to see the Buccaneers pull away with it, though. If Jared Goff even got something remotely close to working, I think the Lions win that game, though.
That was the Lions game to lose. The Buccaneers are down with some big injuries. There probably wasn't a reason for them to be in that game with what I would call a Super Bowl contender team right now. But Bucks stay alive, 2-0, and my bet is looking pretty good.
Yeah, and mine, well, technically I'm still in it. Falcons somehow managed to pull this off. They're 1-1. I'm right
hmm
back in the race. I'm not having to come back from 2 games. Um, I like your odds better, but
Me too. But I don't know, man. New Orleans could be sneaky.
yeah, I'm starting to regret not picking them now.
hmm
Um, but talking about sneaky, this next game, none of us could have predicted this. I don't think there's one person that could have predicted this. The Green Bay Packers won against the Indianapolis Colts 16-10. And the only reason the Colts got 10 was a last-minute touchdown by Alec Pierce. And
Yeah,
Anthony Richardson looked horrendous in this game.
so that's my question: was Malik Willis playing that well, or was it Anthony Richardson playing that bad?
I think a mixture. I don't want to say a mixture of both because I mean Malik Willis, they didn't looking at the stat line, they didn't really ask him to do a whole lot. Um, and going into this game, especially after last week with Indianapolis letting Joe Mixon get 160 rushing yards, Green Bay just basically copy and pasted Houston's plan for their matchup. And Josh Jacobs just got 32 carries for 151 yards. Did not get a touchdown, surprisingly,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just mainly run focused. Um, but yeah, like I said, Malik Willis only had to throw the ball 14 times. Other than that, he was handing the ball off. But Anthony Richardson, it looks like they gave him plenty of opportunity, but 3 interceptions, that just can't happen. Jonathan Taylor did not play at all the fourth quarter after reaching 103 rushing yards, which I don't quite understand, but um, yeah, I'm pretty concerned about Anthony Richardson. He also fumbled the ball twice as well. Granted, he recovered the ball both times, but I'm kind of concerned if I'm a Colts fan. Um, it's still early in Anthony Richardson's career, but hopefully this isn't like a common issue with him for the rest of this year.
Yeah,
He's
but
gonna have his hiccups, but
worst best case scenario, you got Joe Flacco.
that is true. I wish he was traded to the Cleveland Browns tomorrow, but
Hey, me too.
you know, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Um,
Nope.
Next game, we had the Cardinals absolutely smacking the Los Angeles Rams 41-10.
This was
Kyler Murray,
such a fun
yeah,
game.
yeah, Kyler Murray looked electric in this game. 3 touchdowns, 266 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr. with 2 early touchdowns with 4 catches and 130 yards. Um, and fun fact, all 4 of Kyler Murray's incompletions were to Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Yeah,
which I thought was a interesting stat. And Trey McBride had a great game, 6 catches for 67 yards. James Conner had a monster game, 21 carries for 122 yards and a touchdown. Um, Overall, Cardinals look really good.
Cardinals are gonna be probably my favorite to win the NFC West this year.
NFC, oh, win the division.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna pull it off because the Rams don't look like they're gonna do anything this year. The Seahawks are always kind of just hanging around that like 3 spot. And then the 49ers, I mean, unfortunately, with the uncertainty of CMC and the uncertainty of Debo, we're starting to see who Brock Purdy really is.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll go that far. I'll go wild card with you though. I'll go wild card. But you could be right. It's just going to be the extent on how long both those guys are out. Because Brock
Mm-hmm.
Purdy has shown that without Debo Samuel, he does not play that great.
Yeah.
Um, but with the Rams, they're out Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua now, for a pretty extended period of time. So I don't know. Do you tank if you're the Rams? What do you do? Like at that point, you have your first round pick. Like, but the thing is, you only have Matt Stafford for so many
Right.
years. I think you have him for 2 more years. I mean, I just don't know what you do because you don't really have many weapons.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't think that they ever really struggle. Like Matt Stafford is good at finding that guy to make the offense. So he's gonna find somebody, but I don't know if they really
Yeah,
had
but
talent.
I was gonna say his whole old line is gone, essentially.
Hmm.
Tutu Atwell is, a pretty solid receiver. He had his moments. Demarcus Robinson's also had his moments too. Um, so maybe they'll cook something up. I'm trying to think of who they play next week. They play the
Hmm.
Bears, or no, they play the 49ers. So
So another matchup, divisional.
yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what I think about the Rams now. I know the lad's gonna be is pretty sad right now, wherever
Hmm.
he's at. We need to find him
He's
still.
just losing money left and right.
But yeah, hopefully the Rams can stay alive for the lad. Um, because that's our only hope of finding him.
Yeah, we need him.
We do. Um, Next, I really only want to mention a quote from this next game. Steelers beat the Broncos 13-6. Absolute snooze fest yet again. If I'm not mistaken, the oh wait, no, Justin Fields did have one passing touchdown. My bad.
Hmm.
To Darnell Washington. 117 yards passing though. Bo Nix had a pretty funny quote at the end of the game. They asked him about his interception in the end zone. And he said, I threw the ball to the wrong team and they caught it.
And so did Saquon Barkley.
Touchdown?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yep.
How many rushing yards is he at? To my parlay. Oh, yeah, let's go. My
I
parlay
wonder if
hit.
they might roll him down though, or did you cash out, or did they give it to you? Oh,
Oh
he
no.
might be. He might be down.
Oh no.
I think he's down. He was down.
No. I'm going. No. Don't scare me
Does
like this.
Does he know what's going to happen? Oh, it's going to be on the 1 yard line, and Jalen Hurts is going to push his way in there.
Oh, don't scare
There's
me.
Yeah, there's contact. Oh,
No.
they're gonna bring it
Give it
back.
back. Give it back to Saquon. The tush push doesn't work. Come on.
First and goal. I'd like to see another Devontae Smith touchdown here, but I don't see them throwing it on the goal line.
Pass short. Oh,
Ball buster.
that hurts.
Sorry,
That
buddy.
hurts.
Oh, it's tush push time. Wait for it. Tush push touchdown. Oh no. Oh no.
That
Pain. Pain everywhere.
is pain.
Sorry about your luck. It's still early.
It's the fourth quarter too.
There's still 6.5 minutes left. There's a very
Oh
good chance. There's a very good chance that Captain Kirk will lead them down there for another field goal, and then they'll have to give the Eagles one last chance to score.
no.
All right, they're going for two. Let's see what happens here. Oh, look, Saquon's in for the 2 point conversion.
I'm
Or did
sick
they
to my
roll?
stomach.
Oh, did they roll him short? Oh, they rolled him short. They're reviewing it now. Yeah, the
All
ball
right.
never crossed. Ball never
Yes.
crossed the plane.
God damn it. What's up with this guy not crossing the plane? All right, let's finish up these last two games.
Yeah. Oh,
We had
they call it. They called it. Sorry.
They said he got it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just read ESPN and it said that it failed, but now it just changed it to attempt success.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we had the Chiefs beating the Bengals um right at the end of the game. This game was back and forth the entire time. 26 to 25. Joe Burrow looked better this week. They had no rush game whatsoever. Jamar Chase did not look that great.
Nah.
Kind of cost his team this game too. Um, but Mike Gesicki had a good game. Um, and then for the Chiefs, Isiah Pacheco had a good game, but then later got hurt. Rashee Rice with a touchdown. And then did you see that interception that they had?
Yeah, the
The Bengals
one-handed
had?
interception
Yeah, that was insane.
was sick.
Yeah, but Bengals start off 0-2, but they're a very scary 0-2 team.
Who's more
Uh,
scary though, the 0-2 Ravens or the 0-2 Bengals?
um,
Because I'm more afraid of the Ravens in this moment.
I mean, as a Browns fan, I'm more scared of the Ravens, of course, because we always, for the most part, have the Bengals number.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm more scared of the Ravens. I just think for whatever reason, the Bengals always match up good against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
For whatever reason. I don't understand why,
it's Burrowhead.
but they do.
Mm-hmm. And with Pacheco being out, do you look to see the Chiefs make a move this week for a running back, potentially
Yeah,
Kareem Hunt?
yeah. Supposedly they are going to be meeting with Kareem Hunt. Who knows? By the time this episode comes out, um, he might already be signed with the Chiefs. Um, so hopefully my jersey edit will be posted and ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been working hard on that Kareem Hunt jersey edit. So
Mm-hmm.
be on the lookout for that.
Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Photoshop.
And then leading into Sunday Night Football, um, another stinker from the Bears, low key. Their defense is legit and kept them in the game, and it's the only reason they were in the game. Um, but the Bears are failing Caleb Williams. They need to get rid of Eberflus because I think Caleb Williams has all the tools to be a great quarterback. I mean, he has all the weapons he needs. It's just this offensive scheme.
Yeah, but is it that or is it he's still not ready? Because there's a lot of times he's just standing there in the pocket like a deer in headlights and doesn't know where he's going.
Yeah, I mean that's true too. That's definitely true. Um, And it very well could be that he's not ready. I think it definitely would have been helpful if they brought in a veteran quarterback that's not Brett Rippon. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think I know he played for the Bears at one point, and he's not going to leave Carolina now. But like an Andy Dalton would have been perfect for the Bears.
Yeah.
Because he would have been a good teacher for Caleb on how to be a professional and you know learn your cadences and all that good stuff. But now he's just kind of thrown into the fire and he's just gonna have to learn on the fly. He's
Yeah.
talented enough, but he didn't get that Mahomes-esque, treatment of sitting behind Alex Smith for a year and
Right.
really getting to learn like what it's like to be an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which
That's
I,
right.
I, I truly believe if Mahomes didn't sit his first year that he would not be the quarterback that he is today.
There's a very good chance. I
And
think that's
there's some quarterbacks you have to do that with.
I think Michael Penix might benefit a lot from sitting behind Kirk this year.
Oh yeah,
But
especially with him already being so experienced from college too.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Because yeah, Michael Penix might be, like 28, 29 when he finally makes his first start. And who knows, he might start because, with Kirk's foot, you never know.
Yeah,
So
those
now
are good
now the
takes.
Falcons are kind of looking smart for that pick. I
Hmm.
mean, they definitely could have gone for something else, probably, but
Yeah, but I think they knew what they're doing.
yeah. Nico Collins had a great game this game. Other than that, wasn't really a whole lot to really look at this game other than Houston's defense looked pretty damn good.
Oh yeah.
And the Bears defense looked good. DJ Moore was visibly upset during this game, uh, with Caleb Williams, and a lot of people started circulating back on, how DJ Moore didn't want Justin Fields traded. Granted, what are you supposed to say when the dude's still in your building that you want him traded?
Yeah.
Like, what are you supposed to say? So I don't buy into that hype at all. Um, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting week this week for NFL football. That's for sure.
I had fun. I think it was a little better than week one. A lot more nail biters, but a little more scoring too. I feel like last week we didn't get a lot of touchdowns.
No, we
So
didn't. We didn't. Um, but other than that, was there anything else you wanted to talk about before we got off air? I know this game's getting close to over, but I think we're gonna try to catch the end of it.
yeah, so check out the gambling episode on Thursday. We like to try to have a special guest for the weekly picks. We'll put out the standings of how we did last week and carry on with the rest of the season. And, we'll keep running records of the race to first place for the NFC South. Um, Ohio State football is back this weekend, so I'm sure we'll talk more about that on Thursday, the matchup this week. But not really much else going on. Guardians looking good, closing in on that clinch date.
Yeah,
Time to
one
get the
tonight with a Mansardo bomb.
uh bottom of the eighth. Gotta love it. But no, I'm pretty good. Just looking forward to more football this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, other than that, if you guys enjoyed this episode, it'd be really appreciated if you guys leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, some different ideas on what you'd like to see us do in the future, or just, comments about our takes from this week. We'd love to interact with you guys and interact with you guys on our social media pages. But other than that, Dylan, go ahead and close us out.
Make sure you gamble responsibly, unlike the lad. Not sure when he's coming home, but gamble responsibly. Call 1-800 Gambler if you have any issues. Peace.
Peace.